took a bit of time to set up, but yeah, thanks again. And then thanks for coming over. We are so happy to have you here with us today. And we are celebrating our 10 years. So everything has started like October 8th, 2013. And then here we go in 10 years, Mapillary is empowering like map data generation as well as like supporting community. And now Mapillary is part of Meta, also helping Meta to improve maps. And I also want to give a quick overview of the agenda. So today we are starting with like welcoming and short introduction, who we are, what we are doing, and then how we are dealing all the product related issues. I'm joined by Boris, and now Boris is our PM, and then he will walk you through the preview of what is next. Probably this is something really interesting. And yeah, then we will have a short committee spotlight, and then yeah, we will finalize with GoPro Max sweepstake. And yeah, that's us. So basically what you're seeing here on the upper picture, and we come together in Malmo. This is where Mapillary has started yeah, a few weeks ago, to basically remember all the nostalgia about Mapillary, and then talk about, also we invited a former Mapillary employee, and then just remember good days, and also celebrate this important milestone. And yeah, here I'm joined with Boris. Boris, if you can shortly introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, folks. My name is Boris. I am the product manager for Mapillary. I'm based in the Zurich office, and great to have you all here. Pleasure to participate in the Mapillary community. I joined about 1.5 years ago, and I'll have a little preview of what we're building in Mapillary next in a minute.
And yeah, we have Chris in the committee team. Currently, he's not joining us. He got a baby and he's in parental leave. Ed is also part of our community team, and he's a program manager. And yeah, I will just hand over to Nav for a short introduction.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Nav. I work with Saeed and the community team at Mapillary. I've been there for about 1.5 years now. So I do a lot of our like user support and our like communications. I write a lot for like the Mapillary blog. And yeah, just try to help grow the Mapillary community, help support the Mapillary community however we can. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's us. And then that's the people who are working on the behind. Maybe you know some of us from the forum or Telegram channel. We are trying to basically address all the issues you guys are addressing, or try to get feedback from you all to make Mapillary better and smoother for your own purposes. So I will hand over to Boris to start with what is next, and to share a quick preview of what is next for Mapillary. So Boris, hand over to you. I stop sharing.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I am still seeing the message though that participant screen sharing is not enabled.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Before we do that, actually, could I quickly just post a link to the GoPro Max sweepstakes? So it's just like a Google form that anyone can fill out with their Mapillary username, and then at the end of the webinar, we'll raffle off a GoPro Max. So I'm just going to post a link in the chat.
Thank you. Now, Boris, can you try to share now?
Yes, I think we are in business.
Awesome. Yeah, let's give it a go.
Yeah, sounds great. All right. So as I mentioned, my name is Boris. I'm the product manager at Mapillary. Joined about 1.5 years ago. What is a product manager? I'm kind of the guy who thinks about the strategy and the roadmap for the product. Like, what is Mapillary going to build? What is the goal that we want to get to eventually? Trying to understand the community, you guys, a little bit better, to make sure that what we're building is helpful and useful. And it's been my honor to be on this team for the last year and a half to learn about all the wonderful contributions that folks around the world have had and the rich history of this product. It's not, I would say, very common that every startup makes it to a 10-year anniversary party like we are today. So very honored to be a part of it. Yeah, just let's see. I'm based in the Zurich office where we have a number of our Mapillary team members. And I moved to Zurich from Boston, was based there, lived in New York for a couple years, Singapore a little bit. I'm Russian originally, so I enjoy traveling, as you can tell. But yeah, Zurich is a wonderful place to be. And yeah, you can find me on the Mapillary forum. That's kind of where I hang out. So if you have thoughts and opinions and questions about how Mapillary is doing, where we're heading, that's a great place to ask. So today, first of all, of course, I want to make sure that we highlight this really unique milestone of getting to 10 years and 2 billion images from every country in the world in the Mapillary catalog. So congratulations, first of all, to all of you, the Mapillary community members, on a job well done. So you can give yourselves a round of applause. And I want to take you through what we've done recently and where we're headed next. All right, I like the applause emojis, very nice. All right, so if you've used our desktop uploader recently, you've maybe noticed that in 2023, we introduced video support, and this has been, I think, well received by the community and useful for a lot of folks. And there was limited video support previously for some specific cameras, but now we have added really quite universal video support for pretty much every geotagged video out there. And looking at the top posts from the forum this year, we can see a lot of conversations around video and around EXIF tool support. And EXIF tool is now integrated into the desktop uploader. It does the heavy lifting under the hood to understand the EXIF geolocation data and make it possible for Mapillary to process all your dash cam videos and your action cam videos and so forth. And we now maintain a spreadsheet as well, which is linked from that blog post. So if you have a camera where video support works or doesn't work, you can let us know and we'll add it to this spreadsheet. But all of the popular, GoPro series, like the Max that we're raffling off today, are drag and drop supported in the desktop uploader. What has been kind of more difficult is Insta360 X3. And I'm happy to say that in some of the beta versions of the desktop uploader, we've been introducing features to make it easier for Insta360 X3 video uploads. And you can look forward to a post and a new beta version where we're going to announce kind of the official workflow that we recommend for video uploads from the Insta360 X3. So that is coming your way next. All right, how about the mobile apps? We've made a number of updates on the mobile apps, starting with what you've probably seen as the brand new camera screens on both Android and iOS. We now have both Android and iOS identical from a camera screen perspective, very simple design to focus on the primary task at hand and not have too many things get in your way. On Android this year, we also introduced picture-in-picture capture. So if you haven't tried this, it's a little bit of a hidden Easter egg where if you are on the camera screen with your Android phone and you're capturing for Mapillary, you can actually switch to another app like Google Maps for navigation or a chat app or whatever you want to do. And Mapillary will continue recording as you do that. So in this case, you might be using the same phone to navigate in your car as to record Mapillary at the same time. We've also launched these new settings screens. One of the settings that I want to call out is the auto upload, which allows you to not have to worry about manually uploading imagery. If you're comfortable having your imagery auto uploaded, we can do that for you. We can detect when you connect to Wi-Fi, for example, and kick off the upload. And alongside that, there's this blocked addresses feature where if you want to make sure that you don't accidentally capture like in your garage as you start driving out of your driveway, or near to your workplace or some other area that you want to make sure we don't upload imagery from, you can just add that as a blocked address, and that imagery will not be captured or uploaded. And there's a couple other small things. These warm welcome screens are really meant to introduce more and more people to the Mapillary community, to join all of you. So one of the goals that we have is to make it as easy as possible and as understandable as possible for people to join and to contribute, right? You've probably had to explain, like, what is this Mapillary thing? What is OSM? And these are concepts for new users that can be hard to understand. And so we're trying to make it easier to introduce more and more folks by explaining that this is about recording the world, and it's about open data, which everyone can use to improve their maps. There's some new login and sign up screens. There's new explore screens where we're continuing to iterate to make it easier and easier for you to see which areas around you have been captured and how old that imagery is. Look for more updates coming your way here, because I think there is more to do, but here's a preview of what it looks like around me in Zurich. And profile and leaderboards are getting a little bit of an upgrade as well. So these are screenshots from Android, and iOS is going to start to look this way very shortly as well, where you can now start to see on your profile nice cards for all of your captures and uploaded imagery, and you can find your place on the newly redesigned leaderboards as well. And so this is all building towards what we've been calling Mapillary 2.0. This has been kind of a internal name for this redesign. So you can see that we've updated a number of screens, and I want to give you guys a little preview at how this all comes together. So this is a preview, and you'll see this shipping early next year. So there's going to be this new homepage for Mapillary where we're going to welcome you back and kind of right at the top tell you the most important things that you have. So for example, if you have some captures that you've captured but haven't uploaded yet, you'll see a little card where you can immediately hit that button to upload those captures. And under that, there's going to be a section that highlights news from the community. So from all of you and from our Twitter account, so you can see what's happening. If you're at State of the Map right now, we would have posts about that. We would probably be highlighting this 10-year anniversary call that everyone is on, just to keep you up to date. And then we'll have a map showing all of your captures, as well as where you are with the captures that you're yet to upload, and a feed of everything that you've uploaded recently. I can, let's see, I can click into this to upload section, and we have this new display of all of the images that were part of this capture, and we now have a nice multi-select. So if I want to delete this first image, I can select that, or select any number of images that I want, delete those guys, and it is gone. And now that I've deleted that image, maybe I'm ready to upload. So I can hit upload now over here, get a nice progress bar of my uploads, and a message when the uploads are complete, and the fact that we are processing your imagery. And I will say that we've had, if you've been on the forums, you've seen we've had some delays and some problems in the processing flows in the latter half of this year. We've been working on those problems and working on better and newer infrastructure to make sure that we minimize delays and are able to process imagery as quickly as possible. And that will be coming online early next year as well. So you'll start to see, it's a big process. You know, we're processing millions and, millions of images and merging them with millions of other images. In fact, now billions of other images that have already been contributed. So it is complicated, but it is improving, and you'll start to see those improvements next year. And then, of course, you also notice this new simplified information architecture, which is, the home screen, the capture screen, and the explore view. And so the explore view is going to continue to get updates to help you see where captures have happened and captures still need to happen around you. You can see here we're showing Malmo, the birthplace of Mapillary, if you will. And yeah, if we hit our little camera guy, we can go back to that photo that Saeed showed us earlier of the team gathering here in Malmo. So that is a little preview of what's happening on the mobile apps, and you can start hopefully to see that rolling out at the end of this year and early next year. And I want to wish all of you, a happy celebration and congratulations on your contributions to Mapillary. Here's Leo raising his glass. And thank you so much. I'd love to continue to engage with everyone. The forum is a great place to find me, to ask questions, and to voice your opinions and make sure your voice is heard. And that helps us learn and improve the product and kind of build a roadmap of features that are useful for all of you. So thanks so much.
Thanks, Boris, for walking us through what's coming next. So I've seen like there has been some, joining issue on Zoom. So I will take a moment and then, basically like approve everyone. I think Zoom is like making some noise for us. Yeah, I think we got Stefan. So thanks, Stefan, for coming. And Ed is also joined us. So he will basically introduce himself and then talk about the journey to 2 billion imagery over 10 years. So Ed, please welcome and introduce yourself shortly.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this milestone of 10 years. It's a big milestone for Mapillary. My name is Eduardo, and I've worked at Mapillary since 2015, so almost 10 years. And it's been a pretty incredible ride. I've got the chance to meet the large variety of the community, which has been really the highlight of working at Mapillary, is just the getting to meet all the people that find Mapillary useful in various ways. And what surprised me is just the wide variety of ways in which people find Mapillary useful. We're going to talk about some of that, of course, today. Right now, I'm working on a lot of our community strategy, working out how we can make Mapillary valuable in different situations and obviously improve imagery coverage around the world, which is good for map building. And I'll share my screen now, or maybe Saeed, do you want to, what have we been doing? What's easier? Do you want to share your screen or should I share it on my side?
Go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Sharing the screen now. So it's been a bit of a journey to 2 billion images and beyond. Maybe it was alluded to just before, but there was a special date 10 years ago. I think you guys know what that is now. But that special date also happened to be when the God particle theorists won the Nobel Prize in physics for that discovery. North Korea restarted its nuclear reactor. Scarlett Johansson won Sexiest Women Alive again. And the first Mapillary image was uploaded. So actually it was a couple of images, therefore making it a sequence. I think Jan Erik uploaded this one, the founder of Mapillary. And it's a bit blurry now, and we're told the reason for this was the original was actually deleted from the database, so that had to recover the thumbnail, which was not as high resolution. So we're left with this kind of rather grainy first image, but it's saved there for posterity. And then one of our latest sequences from Philip in Belgium. He's been one of our top contributors there. And obviously we've had many more since November 10th, but we're just recently celebrating the milestone at State of the Map Europe. And this was one of the latest images then. So I want to thank you all for 10 years of Mapillary, which could only be made possible by you guys. And thank you. So one thing that I think is pretty crazy is the idea of capturing the whole world with street level imagery. That the idea is a pretty crazy one. I was very confused when I joined Mapillary back in 2015 about like, why would people go out and capture? Why would they take the time out of their day to edit OpenStreetMap or go and capture imagery, put a camera on their car? Why would anyone do this, and let alone do it in their own time? I've since become one of those crazy people. I've since become someone who spends a lot of my time putting cameras on my car. I just came back from Thanksgiving holiday and I had a camera like all across Utah and Nevada and Arizona. And it's because like we start to understand the value of this for ourselves in building maps, and the value for others who might be building maps. And so like the project's clearly worked over the last 10 years. You see the map getting filled in all sorts of crazy places. We have imagery all the way from North Korea to places, remote islands in the southern Atlantic Ocean, like the French islands that you see down here in the southern Indian Ocean. Just an incredible amount of imagery. Places like Cuba that we might not expect imagery. And I think a lot of the people on this call represent early adopters, innovators, people who could see the potential of Mapillary very early on, people that were willing to do kind of pretty crazy things to get it working. And one thing that I found really interesting about Mapillary is like it could be quite difficult in the early days to get imagery uploaded. You had to get a GoPro 3 maybe as one of your options, or you could use the smartphone app. But a lot of people started experimenting with things like the GoPro 3 and getting a GPS track, recording that separately, writing scripts to match it with the GoPro's video. These weren't easy things to do, and it's kind of analogous to Strava. If you guys are familiar with Strava, where now it's a pretty easy app to use. You've got your smartwatch, you can record a GPS track and it uploads very easily. But in the early days with Strava, people had these like very clunky devices that they had to connect to their computer, but they saw the value of building a community around exercising. And so Mapillary's been very lucky to have the early adopters of people who really see how Mapillary can be used for mapping, and we'll get into some of that. So just looking at a few of the early examples of Mapillary, hands up, like how many people on the call, maybe you can just do a thumbs up on Zoom, but how many of you have seen kind of Mapillary this far back, these early versions of Mapillary? Yeah, some thumbs up, some veterans here. This was one of the early ones where you could kind of search in the very first homepage of like where you wanted to go and see imagery there. We had things like the ability to blur. We still have that obviously, but this is what the early version looked like. Flagging photos, privacy controls being very important at the center. You see on the left, the map looked quite different to how it did now. The imagery and the sequence tracks looked quite different. We had the viewing experience that was quite different. Sequence keys and image keys. You could see like related images nearby. Navigation was quite a bit clunkier. Structure from motion, which we use to power the interaction between images, has come a long way. But now we're better at like working out where your image is in relation to other images nearby. And then one of the things that really turbocharged Mapillary in the early days was the ID editor integration, where Mapillary became available in OpenStreetMap, and you could use the imagery to work out what surface type the road was, how many lanes it has, where the crosswalk was, what the speed limit is. And that was really where Mapillary's community started to increase dramatically. And I think probably a lot of people on this call are OpenStreetMap contributors. There's obviously people interested in other things as well, but OpenStreetMap was a very critical part of the early days. And another really amazing thing that happened was Joselin, where a community member was like, okay, ID editor is obviously useful, but a lot of people that are doing significant amounts of edits like to use Java OpenStreetMap editor, and an integration was made with Joselin, which you can see here. It's changed a little bit since then, but you can see Mapillary imagery alongside detections eventually when that was added in as well. So yeah, very different looking to how it is now, but a lot of the underlying principles are the same. You're still seeing imagery, you're still seeing map data, and that's always been kind of the key value of Mapillary. Anything else has just been value add on top of that. The app started to get designs along the way. This is not the first version of iOS. It came a long way since then, but you started to see comments and social interactions in the app. We've been working on a redesign, which obviously we've talked about recently, that is bringing a new refresh to Mapillary, but this was probably the second refresh that we had when you started to see the app becoming a bit more of a proper app and less of an experiment. And again, just some early looks at Mapillary. One thing I really miss, and I think maybe some of you guys too, is the comments section. This was a really nice way where you could message. You could just leave a message on an image and say like, hey, why did you decide to contribute imagery in Bangladesh or Cuba or wherever it is, and learn a bit more about what people are doing. I think we're using the forum well for that, but I think having that like social aspect to imagery was really useful. There was also the ability to edit images, which I know was much missed when it disappeared. You could move images around. I think there were very good reasons to take that away, but that's just a nice trip down memory lane. Like when people would actually try to align 1,000 images manually and put them in the right spot. Probably not the best for data integrity. I think it's better now to rely on the underlying GPS data and try to correct that before upload. But that was a nice thing to have. And you got to remember, like back in 2014, 2015, Google wasn't as extensive as it is now. Even today, like there's a lot of places where Mapillary is actually far better than Google. Same thing with OpenStreetMap, of course. There's places where OpenStreetMap's far better than Google. And this was just an example of like not far outside Sao Paulo in Brazil. The imagery on Mapillary was vastly superior just because one person with a smartphone cared about it and greatly improved the map. So that was what we used to communicate a lot. And I think that was a big part of the mission that spoke to people. And so part of speaking to people was like, we had this network of ambassadors that really believed in Mapillary, really understood it. Some of them are on this call. Nuno, really good to see you again. We had ambassadors, as you can see, in a lot of places around the world, and they really understood the value of Mapillary. They found a way to communicate it to the people in their communities, and that really made a big difference to like helping people understand, why would I contribute street level imagery? How do I use it in various applications, whether it's for professional geospatial use or just hobbyist use, being a hobbyist mapper. But I just want to thank all of these ambassadors who were really critical to the early days of Mapillary. And so one, Torsov in Bangladesh and Ahsanul were really critical in improving coverage there. You can see here some of the impact that they had on Dhaka, which is a massive city, very hard to capture in. But they drove the community there to capture, and they were mapping a lot of the infrastructure there. Using action cameras like this old Garmin and smartphones, but really one of the strongest communities at that point in time. And just before we pass it off to, I guess, Saeed, who's up next, I just want to shout out to some of the interesting use cases around the world. We're going to look at some others, but there's Bob in Australia. Hands up if you've seen Bob's coverage on the map. So what you're looking at here is not Mapillary coverage in Australia. This is Bob's coverage in Australia. He has traveled an extensive amount. He has this van that you see on the left with a Blackview dash camera. He's retired now, so he has a bit more time on his hands. He loves to travel around Australia, but he's set it up so that his Blackview will record and on the fly transfer to his laptop where he processes the images. Once he gets Wi-Fi, which can be hard in remote parts of Australia, he uploads it. But one of the other interesting things he's doing is is recording is recording a lot of as he goes audio notes, so that he can go back in OpenStreetMap later and use those audio notes to work out what to map. So just wanted to share that great example. Saeed's going to share a few others.
Thank you so much, Ed. That was super interesting to basically watch the memory lane of Mapillary. I was also like part of this journey since 2017. So I was one of the committee contributor. So I will be presenting committee spotlight now, but I was actually like one of the really excited early adapter, which I use Mapillary street level imagery to address accessibility use case. So earlier when I start like mapping for OpenStreetMap, one of my use cases was like mapping accessibilities, and I was doing a lot of like field trip to collect POI data and then map out their accessibilities. When I find out like Mapillary 2017, and then I got super excited because that basically helped me to use like, not use like field paper. I was just driving by car and then collecting all POI data in the office. That was one of the killer use case for me. And then I stuck with Mapillary since then, and I still love it. Yeah, that was one interesting use case from my side, but I also want to share some other cool use cases from community. So let me, okay. All right. So let's start with, okay, who knows this guy? Please let me know if you know this user. Just quick reaction. All right, Leuven knows him. Yeah, I think I thought everyone knows him. He's JB the Milker, top Mapillary contributor. He contribute imagery across United States. He was an Amish driver. He was driving around United States, and then he was contributing Mapillary with his Android camera, Android phone. So that was absolutely mind-blowing that he contributed like more than 35 million images across US. Also, team had a chance to meet with him in one of the State of Map US event. That was quite exciting to know him. Let's go next. So we have pretty strong Japanese community, and then I also want to give a shout out to our Japanese communities, Japanese users. So they pretty much like cover all of the main cities in Japan, and then with 360 camera, and Japan is leading one of the early adoption of the technology. I think they were one of the early adapter to Mapillary as well, and they have pretty strong community. And then yeah, we love to work with also our Japanese community. As you can see, like they have I mean, their top contributors contributed like more than 2 million images almost. So yeah, thank you so much for your contribution. And then yeah, we learn a lot also from our Japanese communities when it comes to like new cameras. They are sharing the recommendation about some cameras, and then yeah, it's great to have them. And then Ed just share a quick example about Philip in the beginning. So one of the latest sequences from Philip. So Philip, as known as a mapper of like emergency defibrillators. So his main use case, improving emergency defibrillator locations. And then he basically mapped almost all Belgium, not only like where he could find emergency defibrillators, as well as all the main roads, main highways. I had also honored to meet him when I was in State of Map Europe. Yeah, he is truly really into Mapillary. And then I just want to give quick shout out to him. So I mentioned earlier today, I'm joining this call from Cameroon, where I'm currently in state of the map Africa. So I'm truly experiencing like challenge to have an internet connection, but we have one strong community in Africa, which is Sierra Leone community. They map main cities in Sierra Leone to basically identify electric infrastructure in the country, in the city, to basically understand where the electric infrastructure is spreading across the country. As you know, like Mapillary extract map features and traffic signs from street level imagery. So they use Mapillary's street light extraction to map all those street lights in the country. I will move into next. Those are some of the latest examples from our blog posts. If you want to learn more about those use cases, please check out our blog post. And this is one of the example from Mexico. Our Mapillary community in Mexico City collaborated with other cycling groups in Mexico to map cycling networks in major cities in Mexico. And then that was truly inspiring story at the country level that they mapped a cycling network at the nation level. We have like a bunch of cool cycling use cases. People improve cycling infrastructure in their cities. You will hear more of them later in the upcoming slides. But that was one of the really coolest nationwide cycling project. I just want to share quick with you, and then yeah, heads off for the community, and then Celine, she was coordinating this effort. Yeah, let's continue with other cycling use case. I think Stefan is also in the call at the moment. So this is also one of the latest story. One man in the mission of like mapping all streets in Brussels. So Stefan mapped every street in Brussels with his GoPro Max in 1.5 years. And then I had a chance to also speak to him. You will find out more details in the blog post, how he planned his everyday trip. That's one of the challenge also we are trying to solve, how we can make sure when you start capturing with Mapillary to cover the streets, either they haven't been captured before, or there is no Mapillary imagery, or you want to update existing imagery. So that's one of the hardest challenge. And then he addressed this challenge with very nice, detailed, well-organized planning. So that was great to learn from him, his story and how he started. Thanks, Stefan, for basically inspiring all community. I have seen you start to also work on some project in Amsterdam. I'm excited to hear what's coming next. All right, let's move into some other community stories. This is not really like capturing story, but it's more like how Mapillary also affect and touch people's life. So Leuven is one of the early Mapillary employee, and then he just tweeted this data exploration where the images are coming to Mapillary. So that was in 2014, and after like January connected him, and then he started to basically get to know Mapillary and then do further research. And he published like two paper about like Mapillary and street level imagery. And then I found it quite fascinating how, like some personal interests can make some opportunities and then affect the direction of you're going. I think Leuven is still like either doing PhD or already done with the PhD. So let us know, Leuven, if you are done with your PhD. I know it's a challenge.
Yes. No. I finished like several years ago. I'm faculty now. Still doing research. Still enjoying OpenStreetMap and Mapillary. So yeah, it was truly like a life-changing thing to me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience over the Mapillary stories forum. If you also like some stories you want to share with us, there is a basic like form which was attached to a registration form, but we can also share this on our Twitter account. All right, let's continue a little bit more. So this is imagery from Sastren. So Sastren is based in UK. I intentionally picked this image because UK has pretty amazing like cycling infrastructure. As a cyclist, I'm heavily using like OpenStreetMap day to day to plan my trip with a bicycle. And then Sastren is aiming to capture all UK national cycling network as well. And then I don't know where Sastren is, but he has pretty good cycling network coverage on Mapillary. So thank you so much, Sastren, for improving citizens of UK. We love it. And then, yeah, let's continue. Also, Sastren has a project concept that he's mapping also bridges. And then, yeah, please reach him out or ask where you can get connected with him over Zoom chat. I think this is also a great opportunity to connect community together. All right, let's move into Island Mapper. So Joselin is also together with us. Just wave us, Joselin. I have been also chatting a lot with Joselin. So he covered all the Krakow Island with 360 camera. He's one of the long-time Mapillary contributor and then 360 imagery enthusiast. And he captured all Krakow Island, not only Krakow, some other island around Krakow. Yeah, that's really great to have you also with us today, Joselin. Yeah, I know like there are a lot of coverage, a lot of great stories. I try to consolidate all of them together into slide deck, but yeah, I will have a few more. And then, yeah, actually, that's pretty much it. Sorry for the outer noise. Yeah. And then, yeah, right now, if you haven't fill up GoPro Max sweep tag form, I just want to give you a few minutes to basically fill up the form. If now can share once again.
Yeah, I just posted in chat one more time. So yeah, this is your last chance to sign up.
All right.
Yeah, maybe just
um,
a quick mention,
handing over
guys,
to-
for like, why they should fill it out for those that are just joining.
Yeah, so I mean, we're about to raffle off a GoPro Max. So if you want to have a chance to win it, all you have to do is fill out this Google form, and we'll put your name into the drawing. Yeah, we can just give it like a couple more minutes and then yeah, raffle it off.
Yeah, that sounds good. If there is any question or comments, we can have also like a couple of or in person, Mapillary story you want to share. That would be also great to hear some comments. Meantime, we are giving some time for folks to fill up the form. For the folks who couldn't join earlier, I really apologize for the issue with the link, that you haven't received the link on time. And then, yeah, I will make sure that you have access to recording. We will upload the recording to YouTube. I really apologize that you haven't got it on time. So you can catch up with the all the product updates, as well as the journey to build in imagery. And then, yeah, we have the recording, so you can give a quick look. All right. Yeah, is there anyone who want to share experience or comment or Mapillary stories? How did you start and what's your use case? I mean, I know a lot of familiar names. I know that Mitch Miller is mapping like coastline, which is pretty impressive what he's doing. All right, seems like no volunteer. All right, Dan is doing kayaking. Calvin maps wherever he goes, which is amazing. All right, now, how are we doing? I mean, we
All
have
right.
we have 64 people, and then if it's consistent with the number, we can start the sweepstake. Ready for it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna close the form now, so we're no longer accepting responses unless anyone wants to get it in the next like 20 seconds. But
Yeah, you may notice that we are strongly recommending GoPro Max, and we think it's one of the best consumer grade 360 camera in the market at the moment. I can also understand some of the critics about its GPS, but it works fairly fine in the open areas. If you go to like urban canyon, you may have issues. But yeah, let us know like what cameras you're using, or if you have any other recommendation. We are also working on expanding our camera support with the desktop uploader. Boris shortly mentioned about Insta 360 direct support. So hopefully, I mean, currently it's in beta now, but yeah, if you want to test it out, you can just go to mapillary.com/desktop uploader, and then you can test out beta version for the Insta 360. All right. Without further ado, I'm just muting myself.
sure. Yeah. So here's everyone who submitted the form. We're gonna put everyone's name into this big wheel of names. Hopefully this works if I just paste it. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So everyone's in here. So yeah, we'll just spin it once and see who wins. All right, you guys ready? All right.
Oh, Flash Kiwi. Great.
Flash Yui. Congrats.
Congrats.
The land down under.
Yeah. Now, shall we continue for the t-shirts as well?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I think we can keep the same list.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. We can just give it a few more spins. How many are we giving away?
Yeah, we have 10 t-shirts with Mapillary 10-year design. So we also want to make this memory together with you. I wish we could present everyone, but it will be quite hard due to like logistic and everything. So we think like 10 will be fair amount. So yeah, let's go for the t-shirts then.
Yeah, we can give it a few more spins. Okay, Danby Joseph.
Congrats. So guys, we will reach you out regarding like delivery and then logistic.
All right. Brutus. Let's see. Let's go again. That was a close one. South Close.
It's going to UK. I believe like South Close based in UK. Congrats.
Joyce May. Congrats. So let's see. 4, All right, so you still have a few more to give away. Oh, Flash Kiwi. GoPro Max and a shirt.
You must be very lucky today.
Biz M, congrats. Lene, I think that's our, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Yeah, that's 7 shirts so far. So we have 3 more to give away, right?
Yeah, let's do it. We're almost also on time.
Janu 03. Congrats. All right, only 2 more.
Yeah, let's spin for the last 2.
None. Whoever enters none is getting a shirt.
Is our username right now?
I don't know. Somebody submitted it.
All right, maybe there is. All right, last one.
Okay, Gorka. That's 10 shirts.
Boom. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Congrats to everyone who won something.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today.